only on Channel 3.
The following program is a WKYC TV3 special presentation.
Happy birthday, Cleveland. What a beautiful evening for a birthday party. Welcome to Celebration 200. I'm Judd Hembry.
And good evening, everybody. It is a beautiful night, Judd. I'm Dawn Stensland. And in the next half hour, we're going to show you just a few of the new sights making Cleveland truly an all-American city. A great place to live and a great place to work, Judd.
Oh, yeah. We're live, of course, right here in the Flats, just to the west of downtown Cleveland, and the celebration is in full swing. No question about that. Our Paul Orlowski is down the river from us just a little bit, over in the bend in the river, where there's a lot of activity going on there as well. Paul, tell us about what's happening in your neck of the river.
Boy, I'll tell you, Judd, since the Indians game let out, a lot of people have come down here. There's a line from an old movie. This guy proves the old adage, I think it takes all kinds. What a hat, huh? There's a line from an old movie, what is it, Where the Boys Are. All the people are crowding down into Fort Lauderdale, and the sheriff just looks at another sheriff and said, I think it's just getting started, and I think that's where we are. Look around us here. Boy, there are just people, and since the Tribe game, it has really gotten packed down here. Understand where we are right now with this 200th birthday celebration, as well as Riverfest, or what is the successor to Riverfest. I guess you have to understand where we've been. Back a few years ago, I used to do a segment on the news called Page 2. Came down here in about 1985 with Jeff Jacobs in the old sugar warehouse. That is now Shooters. It was rats and it was dirty, and we really had very little reason to come down here into the Flats unless there was a crime or a vagrant was found down here. Well, all of that is in the past. The rebirth is not complete, but boy, it's well along the way. We're going to be talking to a lot of interesting folks that we meet down here. Baywatch on the Cuyahoga is going to be coming our way shortly. So there's a lot going on over here. But boy, right now, I think the biggest thing that's striking me is how far we've come in a very, very short amount of those 200 years. About 11 of them, and it has really been a transformation.
You know, Paul, that's so true. And something that Judd and I have really noticed is that there are so many families here. There's a real family spirit here tonight in Cleveland. And it's hard to believe, Judd, that just 9 months ago, we were celebrating live the opening of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, now world-renowned.
Oh, yeah, and there's so many things that are happening fast and furiously for those of you who have been keeping track over the last 10 years in Cleveland. As you say, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame about 9 or 10 months ago, and just today, the opening of another major world-class attraction right in downtown Cleveland, and we'll talk about that right now. And welcome back to Cleveland's 200th birthday celebration, and it is quite an evening, quite a Saturday evening here in downtown Cleveland. And there is no question, Cleveland has undergone a tremendous revitalization that has not escaped the attention of the world media in recent years.
That's so true. And, you know, of course, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has really captured the media attention of the world. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now has a new neighbor, the Great Lakes Science Center and OmniMax Theater. It really combines fun, excitement, and amazement. It's got it right down to a science.
With the grand opening of the Great Lakes Science Center, visitors can now explore the wonders of science, environment, and technology next to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Located on a 7.4-acre site, the Science Center faces Lake Erie on one side and the city skyline on the other. From the moment visitors enter the museum through the stunning 9-story tall gunned winter garden, they will be greeted with panoramic views of water and sky that make the most of the Science Center's location. The east wing of the facility is the big silver dome that catches everyone's attention. This is the Cleveland Clinic OmniMax. This 320-seat domed theater utilizes a state-of-the-art digital sound system and a 6-story high, 79-foot diameter screen. The OmniMax features one of the world's most sophisticated motion picture projection systems called IMAX. The entire film is 40 minutes long, and I just couldn't leave without watching the film Destiny in Space.
People feel like they're moving. They actually do. We have to give instructions before every film that if you feel dizzy or queasy or strange in any way, you just need to close your eyes for a few seconds. I mean, the experience is that realistic that people actually feel the motion in the movie.
The museum is to the west of the OmniMax with over 65,000 square feet of exhibits. The Science Center hopes to stimulate interest of the sciences while having fun. Here's a few samples of exhibits that I found interesting.
Remember the movie Twister? Well, this creates its own vortex. You can see that there, and creates its own twister that goes on up just like a tornado. And this looks like something out of a science fiction 1958 horror movie. Another exhibit here, hands-on exhibit at the Science Museum, is something called the Echo Tube. You can do all kinds of things. You can talk into it, and it talks back to you. You can clap, and it sounds like gunfire ricocheting through there.
Now, if you were daring, you could climb onto the Bridge of Fire. A static electricity generator will create 200,000 volts of electricity, causing everyone's hair to stand on end. Now, that's a hair-raising experience.
This Great Lakes Science Museum is really something. With over 350 hands-on exhibits, the OmniMax Theater, it is among the 8 largest science museums in the entire country.
Not all of the exhibits are for adults only. For example, this polymer funhouse is for kids 7 and under. Marketing director Ron Maletti feels kids learn a lot while still having a lot of fun.
It's sticky polymers, gooey polymers, big vats of slimy polymers. So it's just a lot of fun. There's walls that kids can literally bounce off of. So this is a fun area to learn about polymer technology, but just have a lot of fun with science.
And for you shoppers, you can gratify your souvenir and gift needs at the Science Store before you leave. Now, overall, I think the Great Lakes Science Center is a spectacular addition to our North Coast Harbor.
Yeah, we couldn't get Judd out of there. You had a little bit too much fun during that echo tunnel.
There was so much to do, but the really strange thing about it was that particular piece was shot on Tuesday, and very little was completed in the Science Center at that particular time. They've done a marvelous job because, as we said, it opened this morning, and there is a full range of activities to do there this evening.
So now for the family, what a great place.
Oh, it is a wonderful place for the family to do, and as a matter of fact, there's some family prices, too. The combination ticket to the Science Center and to OmniMax is only $10, and children under 3 can get in for free, which is always a good price. Free is always good. Well, this whole weekend, of course, has a variety of things to do in downtown Cleveland, and we have a list of those things to tell you about, just in case you might want to come down sometime this weekend. And remember, everything you're about to see is free.
Still to come tonight, beginning at 7:30, is SeaWorld's Baywatch on the Cuyahoga, an action-packed high-speed boat rescue. Then at 9:40 is the Cuckoo Musical Show, made up of 5 women. There will be music from the Caribbean, Africa, and Japan, all accompanied by lights, lasers, and fireworks. And then at 11:10, an original music piece will be presented with a fireworks show.
Then tomorrow, there is a full day of activities for the entire family. The new Waterfront rail line runs all day beginning at 4:45 in the morning. The Great Lakes Science Center and OmniMax Theater opens at 9:30 in the morning with the film Destiny in Space playing in the theater. If you're into classic and unusual autos, don't miss the big car exhibit. The kids can ride a giant Ferris wheel, which is located on Front Street. Throughout the afternoon and evening, there is entertainment of all kinds on the 12 stages around the Flats area. Everything from dance, choirs, barbershop, and rock can be found. Beginning at 4, the annual Crazy Craft races get underway in the river. Then again at 7:30 tomorrow, don't miss the Daredevil Maneuvers and Water Skiing Show from SeaWorld as they perform in the river. At 9:30, our world-famous Cleveland Orchestra will perform on the Nautica stage. They'll play the 1812 Overture and Happy Birthday. Finish the weekend tomorrow at 11 with a giant fireworks display from 3 locations throughout the Flats.
Now, even if you're not as easily entertained as I am, let me tell you, that list has got to keep you entertained for quite a while.
And it's beginning to entertain a lot of folks. They're lining up all along the river shore over there. And we're going to go back down to that area where Paul Orlowski is standing by to tell us about some of the things that are going on in his area. Paul.
Well, we're right on the water, Judd. I talked ancient history when no one came down to the flats. I think Dawn's observation, really a very good one. For a while then after that, as the flats began to grow, young people came down to the flats, lots of families, and probably the most unusual guy that I've met so far. This is Bernard, and Bernard has a friend. Can you see us? What's your friend's name, Bernard?
My friend's name is Goliath.
Goliath?
Goliath.
What is it? Is this an iguana?
An iguana.
And Goliath is a guy, I take it.
Yes, sir.
Will he bite?
He bites you.
Here. Let me ask my questions from back here. The iguana. You're not afraid he's going to bother somebody?
No, sir, I'm not afraid because it takes time to train him.
All right, well, like I say, lots of interesting people, lots of interesting things to see, and a family event, including the family of Goliath and Bernard. We'll be back with more and a special guest in just a little while, but for now, that's it from this side of the river.
Well, it looks like everybody is having fun, even the iguanas down here in downtown Cleveland on the Flats, celebrating the 200th birthday of Cleveland.
Yeah, keep that pet on the other side of the river. When we come back, we'll show you why Cleveland is called the City of Bridges. We'll be right back.
I have a feeling I'm not on ABC anymore.
You better believe me, baby. Jeff Foxworthy's landed on NBC this fall.
An original card because 104 PI card. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Welcome back to Cleveland's 200th birthday party, and what a party it is. Judd, I think the spirit of this bicentennial will really go on long past this year.
Oh, no question about it. One of the very visible changes that are going to take place in the coming years is, of course, the lighting of the bridges. And Channel 3 is very proud to be a sponsor of the bridge lighting.
Cleveland, a city built along the Cuyahoga River, has thus necessitated the need for bridges to span the east and west sides of the city. Named the City of Bridges because Cleveland has a higher concentration of moving workable bridges than anywhere else in the world.
8 bridges in the Flats were transformed into permanent works of art with the use of colorful lights during this Celebration 200.
We try to introduce color where there isn't and reinforce color where there is.
As for the bridges, the Detroit Superior is also known as the Veterans Memorial and is now being repaired. It was completed back in 1918 and was the first to allow both river and street traffic to move independently. Temporary blue lighting on the arches is being used today.
Conrail Vertical Lift is known as the Iron Curtain or Gatekeeper because it is located at the entrance of the river. The bridge spans 339 feet and was completed in 1956. Today, amber lights are used to show off the structure.
We've endeavored to conceal fixtures as much as possible. It's nice if the architecture of the bridge will glow without a hint of where the fixtures are.
Willow Avenue Vertical Lift provides the only land access to Whiskey Island and can rise 98 feet in just a minute and a half. Soft gray and 10 bright colors of the rainbow create a striping effect.
Bascule number 2 is located next to the Nautica stage and is often seen as a jackknife shape. It has held that upright position since the 1980s. The bridge is dressed in blue, purple, and orange. Each hour, an animated light effect suggests the passing of a ghost train.
The lighting project required more than 2,000 lamps and some new technology, which was developed in northern Ohio by General Electric.
There is one lamp called ceramic metal halide that we developed recently within the last 2 years. And the first application anywhere of this lamp is going to be in the bridge project, so we're very happy about that.
The Eagle Avenue Lift Bridge connects the streets of Scranton and Ontario. It was completed in 1931 and at that time was only the 6th such bridge in the country. Today it's lighted with white and includes blue-green accents.
The Cleveland Memorial Shoreway crosses the river via the main avenue on an 8,000 feet long span and was completed in 1939. Today it's illuminated in blue.
Bascule number 1, located next to Shooters, was completed in 1907 and has remained in its jackknife position since the 1980s. Today, the colors change from amber to white to red, a tribute to the steel forges that used to line the river.
Finally, we have the Center Street Swing Bridge, built in 1901. It remains the only swing bridge still in use in the nation, and it's the oldest operating bridge on the river.
The Bicentennial Commission has made the lighting of these bridges a permanent feature, which will change Cleveland's skyline forever. These bridges will be a lasting tribute to Cleveland's historic strength and vision for the future.
Like colored candles on a birthday cake, those bridges sure add a festive look to our city.
Oh, they sure do. And we're going to get a picture of it a little bit later on tonight. And speaking of things, though, festive, let's go back to Paul Orlowski down the river just a ways and see what's happening with him. Paul.
Well, one of the things that the officials down here are telling us, Judd, is the fact that a lot of people are using the rapid transit. The new Waterfront line, as well as the Red Line, or however you got to that point in the terminal tower, across the way. And you can see a train stopped right now letting some people cross, and then it'll pull into that station. So that really was a good way. As a result of that, there is some parking available down here, at least on the West Bank, they say, off of West 28th Street. And last night, the lots were not even full, so people were heeding the warnings, not all crowding down here. But as a result of that, if you did want to pop down and use your vehicle, they say at least for right now, that's okay. And speaking of that Waterfront line that we see across the way, I'm jealous of Dawn because Dawn got to take a ride on that, and here's a tour right up front from Dawn, who took one of the very first rides on the Waterfront line.
To music and a big celebration, the first train on the Waterfront line arrived at Settlers Landing. A $55 million rail line is the result of a 23-month project that ties together downtown properties. This 2.2-mile rail line, RTA's first extension in 25 years, marries transportation and art in a journey that begins at Tower City. The train plunges underneath the Veterans Memorial Bridge and heads north to Settlers Landing on the east bank of the Flats. The line crosses the Conrail tracks along the lakefront and then heads east, stopping at East 9th Street near the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Great Lakes Science Center. The final stop is the South Harbor Station, located in the Muni parking lot north of East 12th Street near Burke Lakefront Airport. Service to the Flats and North Coast stations will be provided 7 days a week, with the first daily trip arriving at South Harbor, 4:43 a.m., and the last trip departing South Harbor at 2:05 a.m. the next morning. For nearly 2 years, we've watched it grow. It's been nothing more than an ugly construction site. Now it's Cleveland's latest moving symbol of our city's renaissance. Ridership will start at about 600,000 and then grow to an estimated 1.5 million. For outbound trips originating at Tower City or other waterfront stations, no fare will be collected. For inbound waterline trips traveling toward Tower City, customers will pay the standard express fare of $1.50. Governor Voinovich and Mayor White, representing the state city funding of the project, took the first ride.
Stupendous, ginormous, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
As the kids say, awesome. Fantastic. It's great. Just a wonderful way to see the town, and never thought we'd ever see anything like it. And I really am proud of RTA for putting this together. And I'm so glad that the state of Ohio was able to participate substantially in making this happen.
The mayor says the waterfront line will have a big payoff.
I never thought in my lifetime that I would be able to ride on such a trolley and see the great things that are going on. This trolley is going to be responsible for continuing the economic boom in Cleveland. It's going to create a lot of fun, a lot of opportunities, but a lot of jobs and new activities in our community for our citizens. And I think that's what's so good about it on our Bicentennial.
Whether you're shopping at Tower City, dining in the Flats, visiting the new Science Museum, or maybe the Rock Hall, it's only a 10-minute ride, and I can speak from experience. The ride includes great views of the lake and the always spectacular Cleveland skyline. I've talked to so many people here in the Flats. They say they got here by taking RTA. They said, you will not believe how quick and clean it is and how friendly the engineers are.
Well, it's good to have friendly engineers. But we've still got a lot of celebrating to do, and we're going to be right back in just a second with that celebration. Stay with us, everybody.
Where you from? Oh, great.
Hello, I'm Bill Scapini, Channel 3's Vice President and General
of the world. The best of the best compete in Atlanta at America's Games. And tonight, the best coverage is only on your Olympic station, Channel 3.
You know, I hope you've had as much fun as we have had in the last half hour. Cleveland certainly is on the move, a great tourist attraction, and really a great place to call home.
Oh, there's no question about it. The revitalization of Cleveland is just absolutely fantastic, and the music has begun down here in the Flats during that commercial break, and we're going to go back to Paul Orlowski and the Bend in the River near that music. Paul.
Boy, it sure has started, Chad. I can hardly hear you. You know, when we used to cover the old Parade of Lights, we used to be able to drive right across the way to what is Heritage Park now, right up to the edge of the water, maybe 20 minutes before the parade, put the mast up, and we'd have a live shot. Well, now we're going, now it takes days and hours. And, as you can hear the music, Baywatch on the Cuyahoga is about to start. That's what the music is. We'll take you out there and show you, because on our cue, here they come. Baywatch on the Cuyahoga from SeaWorld.
Tell me what's going on here. Looks like he's headed down here. Don't think this guy is out of control. Tell me what's going on here. There's been some Baltimore. Wow,
This is Mitch calling Baywatch, Ohio. Motor down full. Rescue alert.
So we had to leave, so we won't be around. If you want somebody else, I can get somebody else. We're almost done. I did do a thing about the parking though.
We're going to get somebody in that boat. Good work, Rescue Team. We still got that runaway boat.
Well, there you have a little bit of a sample of what's going on. Fireworks tonight at 11, the Baywatch show again tomorrow night. Judd, I know I'm screaming, but for now, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
And I want you to look quickly. If you could see the blonde woman, watch out Pamela Lee on that yellow boat, because her name is Lisa, and she is from Australia.
And as they say, she is hot.
She
right?
is hot. That's what they're saying along here. It has been such a fun half hour. There's so much going on tonight, and I hope you come on down and say happy birthday to Cleveland with the family, of course.
We know you're going to have a great time, and we'll see you at the Tricentennial. Good night, everybody, and happy birthday, Cleveland.